He's done.
His name is Buddy McGirt. He was recently the World Junior Welterweight Champion, and he was closing in on $1 million. Welcome to Gleason's Arena at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge. It's here in arenas like this that champions such as Buddy McGirt work their way to the top, while in their shadows, club fighters such as Leland Hardy pursue their dreams. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bruce Beck. Welcome to another edition of Boxing: The Sweet Science. Tonight, a study in personal contrast between two interesting young men united by a common thread, their love of the sport of boxing. Also tonight, we'll take a look at a story which is unfolding in our nation's capital. Next, we'll have the story of the thinking man's fighter, Leland Hardy. Boxing: The Sweet Science continues in a moment.
They're getting tagged with almost every punch that Hardy throws. Unbelievable!
The market's down about 29 points there on moderate volume. But one of the things I'm most concerned with, we look over at the Hong Kong exchange, given the tumultuous events that have taken place over the weekend. I mean, you know, that market's down about 500 points to pretty much a post-crash low.
Look at Hardy landing. Padilla wide open, is in trouble here, and he goes down.
You know, we're looking at many of the oil stocks. We really don't know what's going to happen with the Ayatollah passing over the weekend and some of the other developments that are going on in the Asian world. We're going to just sit tight at this time. Probably be implications.
Leland Hardy does not fit the mold of a typical boxer. He also doesn't fit the mold of a typical investment counselor. The aspiring young heavyweight grew up in Philadelphia, and high finance was his ticket out of the ghetto. Along the road to the top, he made all the usual stops: an MBA from Wharton and a master's in international studies from the University of Pennsylvania. That's only natural for a man who speaks 5 languages fluently and can order from a Chinese restaurant in perfect Mandarin. To Hardy, there are plenty of parallels between his two worlds, fiscal and fistic.
This is a very challenging business. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You've got to perform. You've got to have the numbers. In boxing, you're out there on your own. You know, when the going gets tough, you can't toss the ball off to a teammate and hope he hurdles over the end zone line. You're on your own in there, and you're on your own here. It's very grueling. Guys are often in here in the office at 7:30 in the morning and often working until 7:30 at night. In the game of boxing, you know, you've got to get up and do your road work. You've got to train hard. You've got to eat right, and all of those kind of things. So I think there are some parallels there between the two.
Harding's appetite for work has begun to yield significant dividends. After a recent victory, he demonstrated his dazzling linguistic skills, leaving Gil Clancy a bit disoriented.
Let me say hello to all of my Asian, Chinese, particularly brothers and sisters out here. 谢谢所有我的中国兄弟看到这个拳击比赛，我是将来的世界拳王了。
And you're right. I agree with you 100%.
Leland's love of languages began at an early age, and this love was strictly a foreign affair.
You know, I started studying languages, I guess, in the 6th grade, and then I really just fell in love with it. And I guess I had a natural inclination towards studying languages. Every time I ran into someone that sounded like they had an accent, I said, "Excuse me, sir, you know, you speak Spanish or whatever?" Pick up a couple of words here and there, you know, and whenever you have a situation to associate with something, you never forget the word. And I just continued and continued. Then when I was in college, there was a program called the Critical Language Program. I could study any language I wanted to, provided there was a native speaker on campus willing to teach me for work-study money. It was a tremendous way for me to open up some other doors. Here at Bear Stearns, I'm able to work with the Chinese clientele. There are a significant number of Chinese Americans here in the New York area. And, you know, dealing with Asians in general, relationships have to be established over long times, and a lot of trust has to be established. And when they have someone on the inside, so to speak, here at Bear Stearns, a major investment house, is doing phenomenally well, they feel that they can have someone in whom they can trust their monies to invest in companies here in America.
Leland Hardy shows outstanding promise, in the Wall Street arena, that is. His skills as a boxer are rather raw, but he has the heart of a champion and the head of a financial wizard. And in his heart, he doesn't yet feel he's realized his potential.
I think I can go as far as my talents and my abilities will let me go. I'm not in the game necessarily to to challenge for a world title. I'm simply in the game to fulfill myself and do as best I possibly can.
Portfolios may one day bring him fortune. Boxing has already brought him a measure of fame.
There are some things that enable boxing to transcend just the participation in the sport itself. You know, I can't go out to the discos at night. When I'm in the gym on Friday evening and it's 90 degrees outside, and I know that there are only a few guys in there, I know that we're guys who work hard, and I know that in all likelihood my opponent is not. From time to time, I'm able to go up to Harlem, maybe sometime during a lunch hour, or maybe on a weekend or something, and talk to a group of kids about what kind of opportunities they have in front of them and how they can take advantage of that. Certainly being in the boxing game, a very high visibility game, kids see me on television in one form or another, doing one thing or another. It helps. It helps. And I'm able to say, within, you know, through boxing, I'm able to stay free of drugs, stay free of drinking, and all kind of rabble-rousing and so on. And it's a really positive thing for the kids. Sure.
Part of boxing's beauty is that it is truly universal, and the object of the sport is the same in any language.
I don't know where my next opponent is going to be from, what part of the world. 我是将来的世界拳王，我要赢了。Yo voy a ganar por knockout. Je veux gagner por knockout. I'm going to knock you out.